everybody. Welcome to another Social Cafe event. And tonight we have a special guest, Matthew Holden. Matthew, it's great to see you.
Hi, Deborah. It's good to be with you, and hello, viewers.
Excellent. I feel like we're old friends. We've communicated on Skype. We had that kind of little false start thing going, and so that gave us an extra week to get to know each other.
Yeah, that's true. But we fixed it. Technology is great, Deborah, when it works.
Yes. But see, we turned a situation that someone might view as not working into something that really worked. So we had like extra weeks of promotion. So that was great.
Works out in the end.
Yes. And you just came back from a conference too, just recently. How was that?
I have just been down to Social Media Marketing World down in San Diego, and it was absolutely fantastic. You know, it was just incredible what was going on down there, and to see and hear so many different views of what's happening in the social media landscape was a very busy, jam-packed couple of days, but certainly well worth being down there.
Wow. Well, and the Social Media Examiner, and no, I didn't plan this ahead of time, by the way, but they really know how to get the visuals. It just happens to be we're here talking about MavSocial visuals, but like you held that up. I have always loved to go to their website just to look at what they do with their visuals. They
are, I think Michael Stelzner and the whole team, I think, did an incredible job getting the huge number of tracks that were available for people and participants. It was almost overwhelming at some stages, but they pulled it together. They ran it all on time, which I think was fantastic, because I don't know if you've been to conferences where things just go over time. Ran like clockwork. It was very well orchestrated, and it was really a real credit to their entire team.
That's excellent. That's the kind of conferences I like when they're on time. You're timing your bio break for when they actually stop talking, so that's great. Well, okay, now that we've been chatting, let me give you a chance for those that didn't tune into the Web Tools TV. And by the way, thank you for sending that out on Twitter. You guys have to check out the Twitter feed for MavSocial, and there's a little retweet on the video that we did earlier for Web Tools TV, and that's a mouthful. So now I'm going to turn it back to you, Matthew, and let you introduce yourself and MavSocial.
Deb, thanks so much. I'm the founder of a company called MavSocial, and we have a digital asset management and a social media publishing tool that businesses and social media marketers use to manage all their visual content and publish all their communications and social media campaigns to all the social media networks.
And how did you decide to come up with this? I know you're repeating some of this from the interview, but I love to hear the stories again.
Well, it's funny you mention this, because we were talking about podcasting down at the Social Media Marketing World, and it's very much in vogue, and of course Hangouts like what we're doing today. And how I basically got into this was effectively about 10 years ago. I started doing my first podcasts, and that was on the audio side, and that was back with the little iPods being so small. And I've always had an interest in that, and I thought it was just a great medium. They would tape it off a little bit around 2010. But combining that with my passion for photography and videography and so forth, when social media started, I just felt there was a compelling blend between the two, and that's how, coming from a very much a technology background, I saw the opportunity to be able to start MavSocial and come up with some new products and new innovative software ways in which to help marketers to be able to communicate with their social media markets. And hence MavSocial was born, and we haven't really looked back since then.
Well, that's good. You guys are doing wonderful. Now you're coming to us from Silicon Valley, is that correct?
I moved from Australia. I packed up the family, a bold, ambitious move, and literally moved from Sydney, Australia to here now where I am in San Francisco, California, which is really the epicenter of technology at the present time, and full of buzz and vibrancy without a doubt. And it's just really great to be here and to really experience what's going on in the market here today.
That's excellent. Oh, and by the way, Matthew, if you could tell people what they get for free if they win the contest. We do, guys, if you saw a tweet going out that has a post for the article, or a real simple way is just go to socialcafechat.com, look at the Twitter calendar, and you'll find it. There's a post there where you can enter the contest to win free from MavSocial, and I'm going to let Matthew describe it so I don't bungle up whatever it is you get free.
What we've worked out with Deborah and for the selected person is we are going to give you a full Pro account, a Pro Plus account, which enables the user to be able to get access to images, to be able to publish to all social media networks, including Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the various pages available through LinkedIn, YouTube, and international networks as well. And in addition to that, we're also putting in a credit for the person to be able to download images from some of the stock houses that we have connected to MavSocial, which are Getty Images, Big Stock, and Deborah, I've got to tell you some more news today. We've just reached over 150 million stock images that are available through MavSocial, because we're just bringing online this week 3 new additional libraries that are available for users to be able to get images. And the best thing is a lot of those are all free.
Oh my goodness. What did you say, 150 million?
150 million stock images from a wide range of stock libraries are now all available through MavSocial.
Wow. So, I mean, you're almost becoming like is it clearinghouse? Is that the term? Or library? I mean, you're the library of libraries. You no longer have to go figure out where all these websites are. You just go to MavSocial.
I've seen a lot of posts where a lot of people are saying you can go to this library, go to that library and download these images and so forth. And I think one of the things we wanted to try and do with the platform is my view personally is social media, as we all know, is hard work. It takes time. And the clients that I talk to just don't have time, and a lot of them are squeezed for budgets and all the things we all know about. So if I can bring the products and stock imaging, which is very important, it doesn't replace original content for social media marketers, but it's a fantastic way to really boost and to tweak particular posts, whether it's to Facebook or Twitter, etc. Same with video. It's exactly the same type of story there. What I want to try and do is bring these all together so it's easier, faster, more efficient, for our customers to be able to use them, for them to be more productive. So we've partnered with some of the best stock houses around. The most recent one is Pixabay, which has a huge range of images. And the best one about Pixabay, for example, is the licensing, because that's a very important part with stock images. You've got to have the right license. You can't steal images
really?
from other websites and repost it. It's not a really smart business decision.
Yeah.
So that's all taken care of. So we're pretty pleased and very happy with the way things are going there.
Excellent. That reminds me, Matthew, of something that came up in the Twitter chat. We were talking about actually, I phrased it as a question back to someone, but, does the image actually have to be relevant to the article? I mean, I've seen a lot of times where people put up a pretty flower, a cat, something that's loosely, it's just the eye-catching. Is that something that you believe in the foundation of MavSocial, just to have images that are engaging, whether it directly relates to the content or?
I think that it's a good question, but I think it also comes back to the actual marketer themselves and what the content or the context of the image is in relation to what they're posting. At the end of the day, we know, and imaging sells. Bright colors have a greater propensity to catch the eye as you flick down a screen, especially on a mobile device. Bright colors, white backgrounds, I think it's reds and yellows are proven to be one of the catching images there are. And similarly, on the other side of the coin, you can get very, very powerful black and white. But it really does come back, I think, to the context of what the visual artist wants to actually portray and how much time they want to do. I think the most important thing is to get the image right for your story. And if you want to have sort of like a bit of a way out there, different type image of a flower or the good old cat, a cat photo, if you think that's relevant to your story, There's plenty of cats and dogs and everything available.
What is it? There's a company that does cat advertising. Okay, I know it's off topic, but the whole concept of using cats in advertising, and it actually works. But that's a really good point. I was thinking Peter Max. I think isn't he from your area? But with all the NBC colors, rainbows, he's an artist. But in the 60s, 70s, he captured the color attracts people. And I think we're still finding the same thing, aren't we?
Very much so. Absolutely. Right now, that's one of the things I do notice about the libraries is if you go to different libraries, one thing, the more I use it as well and the more engaged I get, and I'm not a content curator, which is a very specialized skill in itself, but the one thing I do see is I see the variety of the photography that comes from the various libraries. And I think that's really important, depending upon whether you want to have a high level, very serious type, very super professional image from, say, Getty Images versus the more laid back approach from, say, a Pixabay. You've got everything in between. That's one thing I'm very much aware of, and the team are now putting together as we try and bring more libraries online, things that are complementary, so that really there's going to be something there for everybody.
That's excellent. Now, do you have Big Stock, the videos? The video side of Big Stock, or just the images?
No, not at this stage. We have Big Stock images are available through the library, but not the videos. That's not at the moment.
That's okay. With 150 million, I can't get over how many that is.
We're pretty proud.
Yeah, yes, you should be.
One thing, Deborah, nobody else has this. There is no platform on the market out there today, and I look everywhere. I've not found anybody that has the ability to manage digital assets where it doesn't have to be stock images, it's your content as well. We just heard Gail talking about her video. It can be your content, stock imaging, graphics and all of those types of components, and publishing. I've not come across a platform, so we're very proud about that, and
your leaders
happy to be able to share it with us.
Pioneer. Now, can you pull the content through, like from YouTube, without having? Gail's talking about the whole upload process, download, all of this. Is there a way to actually pull it from the network so it's bypassing the home network? Okay, now I'm getting too geeky. Maybe.
You're getting a little geeky on the video side of things, yes. But I'm going to tell you something really special. Now, let's keep it to ourselves, okay? Just us, no one else. We've just launched a new feature in MavSocial, and it's social assets. And when you go into your account, there's a new tab in the library which has your assets in there. So if you're tagged, your image and your name is tagged in a Facebook post or on your page, you can download the image to your MavSocial library.
Oh, wow.
The advantage of that is you can bring images into your MavSocial library because you want to repurpose your content. If you've got great images, use them because it works. So if you're finding, and of course with analytics that we have in our platform, you can actually see what images are getting the best shares, the highest engagement and so forth. But if you've got an image that works, use it. Keep using it. That's the most important thing to be able to do because it's working, and that's what we want to be able to do, extend our reach with social. So that's a new feature. You've got it. You've heard it here first, Deb.
There we go. Thank you. I'll keep
All right. We want to take the pain away from doing this, and that's the big thing. You want to take the pain away from having to go through, and you mentioned a very important thing there, which is licensing. It's a real, and we work, one of our partners is Getty Images, and we work with them for a long time to help our customers get the right license. And it's licensed for what they call a perpetual license to use Getty Images and Big Stock as well, because they are the major stock houses. It's a perpetual license for you to be able to use in social media through MavSocial. Now, that's a really big thing. Not only are we helping users protect themselves legally, but secondly, we're taking the pain away of getting the right image. You don't need a 3,000 pixel image for social media. You need the appropriate image that's going to look really sharp and pristine on an iPad or a Retina display. And that's what we've been able to get the balance of being able to get the right image at the right size for the right device.
Excellent. Now, you mentioned Getty, and this is sort of a side topic, but I've heard, and it's not fair to ask the question without Getty representing themselves, but I'm trying to alleviate some people's fears out there as much as we can. I've heard different people say, oh, no, you could pick up an image over here, and then Getty will acquire it, and then you get fined and all this stuff. Now, when you talk about perpetual license, what you're saying is it doesn't matter what Getty's doing with that particular image after that date of transaction. You use it, you're covered under the license on that day that you use it within MavSocial. Is that correct?
Yes. Obviously I can't speak on behalf of Getty Images, and I certainly wouldn't, but our licensing agreement with them is that you're contracting to agree to their licensing terms and conditions. It's not ours. We're basically, in some respects, we are basically really a reseller of our libraries that we work with, and they're all the same, of course. I mean, some of them are totally open source images and videos, and Giphy is now available, which is GIF images are now available in MavSocial. So there's no licensing in relation to those, but we certainly abide, honor, and uphold to the best of our ability the license terms and conditions of the provider of that image. But at the time of purchase, that image is downloaded to your library, and that's when you're able to use it for your social media posting, wherever it may be.
Right, that makes sense. Thank you. Hey, Con, I haven't put you in the spot yet, but I'm not going to ask you if you're using MavSocial in case the answer isn't.
He will be soon. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's a good way.
In fairness, I've been quickly coming up a learning curve, Matt, since I've set up my company. So trust me, I'll be out there in the next 24 to 48 hours looking at MavSocial, and that's certainly something I'll be talking with my clients about. But if I could ask a question, please.
Sure.
Everything that's happening in social media today, I mean, that MavSocial is certainly out there at the leading edge of the digital integration, working with the social media tools. With the proliferation of tools that are out there today, things like Meerkat, Periscope that are breaking in, what do you think the future of social media and the future of the tool set that works there could be going out maybe 5-10 years? Just a wild guess.
Well, I would say 5 or 10 weeks is long-range planning in the social media tools market at the moment.
Fair enough.
But if I can give you, and we don't look too far ahead, obviously, because we have a balance between what I call commercial reality and wishful thinking. I'm asked this quite often. I do say, and I certainly foresee, and I empathize with social media marketers right now. And I empathize with them because it's a very difficult choice. There are so many tool sets out there. It is, I think, quite frankly, totally confusing for companies and individuals to be able to make rational decisions based on some of the platforms that are available. What we're looking to do is, with the MavSocial platform, we're focused on real problematic areas at the moment. So we are bridging and have a niche area of operation, which is content and publishing. We are not doing everything to everybody, and I'm afraid to say I do see a lot of platforms out there trying to do that, and it's extremely difficult for users there, I believe, to be able to make a rational decision as to which way to go. I don't think there's any perfect tool set. Again, that was echoed very clearly down at Social Media Marketing World down in San Diego. There is no one tool, one magic Swiss Army knife that does everything. Where we're positioned in the market, we're looking to do a very niche area and do that very well. But overall, I think there's going to be quite some challenges. And in this year, 2015, going ahead, I certainly foresee consolidation. I see a lot of the vendors merging or disappearing. But it's a tough market that's going to be out there at the moment, and if anything, there's probably a little bit of saturation in some of the publishing tools.
But you brought up I'm sorry, Con. I got so excited on the academic and the business. Okay. I know we're talking about the tool, but you brought out some excellent points, and Con, thank you for asking the question. But as far as keeping ahead of the game, not out of unkindness to the other tool developers, but when I listen to Matthew and what you're saying that MavSocial does, you've already got, at least 5 different points of things that you're doing differently, which kind of puts you ahead. But when you talk about like the oversaturation, it would seem from a business perspective that really a tool, if they're looking at trying to stay alive and not get merged or acquired or disappear, God forbid, that if they can just get even one thing that they do differently, that might be enough to keep the survival.
I think it could be from a business perspective, and I think we just talked earlier about the vibrancy of San Francisco, and I see that here where people talk about technology. But technology for technology's sake is not how you build a successful social media practice. I come at this, and our team come at the building our platform out to solve customer pain points, and that's what we need to be able to do. And you're quite right, and thank you very much. I think we have focused on areas that we see. I would say there are opportunities for us as a business, but they are problems that users are facing. And what I heard last week down in San Diego really echoed that challenge, and that challenge is all around content. How do we come up with continual content to be able to push out? And now, this was the other echo last week, was in relation to audio podcasts. Video has now leapt to the fore. The tools for video sharing has never been easier. And just last week's Facebook announcement of the ability to embed published Facebook videos takes the whole video market to a whole new level that we don't know. If I can come back to Con's question, if we look at, I see where some of the areas in which I see great enhancement. We're going to see possibly alignment of wearables technology. We're going to see greater enhancement and more delineation of video, audio consumption through the various networks, because they will all have to change how they're actually going to market at the present time. Facebook made some big changes last week. Google in recent times have made some big changes to Google+. And of course the jury's out what's going to be the evolving Google new go-to-market model for, obviously, for their video, photographic and social media networks. We don't know at this present time.
You know, and it's interesting you're talking about as far as more video tools. I mean, if it says video tool on it, I seem to have to buy it. I've got this toolbox that I may not use them all. I'll go back to, Final Cut Pro, but the, as far as like embedding, it used to be, and I think only a couple of years ago, I was trying out WordPress plugins as far as how did I want to display the videos. And I'd find one that I really liked, and it's a $70 WordPress plugin. So there's nothing free about that. But, you mentioned as far as the Facebook embedding, now people don't even have to think about it on where to find the tool. They can just go to Facebook, and let's say they want to feature 6 videos. They can feature them with just 6 embeds on their page, and they don't even have to install a WordPress plugin.
Correct. That's exactly right. And now the code's available. One of the things that we're doing in response to the Facebook announcement through MavSocial is when you publish, and we just heard Gail talk a little earlier, she was talking about YouTube, but if she was publishing to, say, Facebook, one of the enhanced features that I think, because it's all about reuse, don't post once, post many. That's the objective, is to continually getting the streams and the content and the dialogue driving traffic back to your marketing objective. So one of the features that we're working on right now, we want to get to market as soon as we can, is when you publish through MavSocial to Facebook, you'll get the return call of what the embed code is, because it has a very distinct, unique URL. Once you use that URL, then you can republish, repurpose, push it out to different networks as well. So again, wow, that's some of the little changes that are happening. And obviously as a vendor, it's our responsibility to be able to keep up with these types of changes and help our users make their jobs easier.
Now, does that help people know, I'm sorry, I got to bring back to actually my manners and say thank you for sharing. Can you tell I'm just way too excited about all this?
No.
But when the embed code, as far as Facebook, when you get that code back, if you've published it through MavSocial, do you also get to see where other people have shared it?
Not at this stage, and I'm not too sure. I'd have to come back to you on the technology component of the sharing of the embed code. I really haven't got to that level just yet.
That's okay. I'm in a geeky frame of mind this evening, more so than normal.
You can geek away with me. That's quite okay.
Thanks. But I could have used MavSocial to reshare when you tweeted out our interview on Web Tools TV. In the social assets ability, I could tweet that back out, right?
Yes, you can. Yes, you
cool.
can, and you're going to see a new feature coming out very shortly. It's impending release, a pending release very shortly, because I'm very keen on, as we were talking about, if we talk about just the Twitter feed, for example, and Twitter's had some great changes of recent times. We now have in-stream video playing. We now have in-stream audio playing, and of course we've always got the photographs that we've always had there as well. If you're just posting tweets with just purely text, you will get a 60% increase if you have an image, a relevant, good quality image associated to the tweet. It's just extraordinary, the statistics that were being rolled out of the changes that are happening to the Twitter landscape.
Excellent.
If we then come back to the embed codes, for argument's sake, what we want to be able to do is repurpose, retweet. Why should we do just one great tweet? We should be able to then roll that out, push that out every day or every week, or whatever you're actually wanting to be able to do from an objective perspective, of course. You should be able to repurpose and be able to reschedule those types of posts, and that's certainly very most in my development agenda, I suppose, as to where the product should be going, and our team is working towards that right now.
Excellent. And I want to be sure that I'm sharing. So Con, Gail, any final questions? We're on the 2-minute countdown. So
no, that's all right. I think the answer to mine.
Just too much fun. Next week, we have Dave Schneider from Ninja Outreach joining us, same time, same place. And definitely visit socialcafechat.com. Watch my feed at Social Web Cafe for ways to enter to win the contest, or how do we word this so it's legal and correct? For the opportunity to win contest, whatever that legal version you want it, go to the site and enter. And Matthew, I want to thank you for joining us, and I'm going to turn it over to you to let us know where to find you, where to find MavSocial as we end our Social Cafe event. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. Okay, Matthew.
Thanks, Deborah, and also thanks, viewers. Great to have you with us. Go to MavSocial, MavSocial.com, and everything's there at our website to be able to help you get started.
Excellent. Thanks all, and good night.
Take care. Good night all.